What is up, guys? It's Gage here. Welcome to you, Buck Dat. And today I'm with my co-host, Ken Filler. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the new receiver for the Buccaneers, David Moore.
Yeah, David Moore has had a couple of solid seasons with Seattle. The other interesting connection with David Moore is he's got that Dave Canales connection. So Canales has worked with him and probably was very instrumental in bringing him to Tampa to sign with the Buccaneers. I'm kind of torn between the signing of David Moore and all the young guys on the roster, and I'll tell you why I am. I want to see these young guys get a chance to compete and see what they can do. And with these veteran receivers and these free agents the Bucs keep bringing in, that lessens the chances that these young kids are going to have to show what they can do in training camp and in the training camp season when it starts in late July and August.
I 100% agree. David Moore, I'm excited for him to come in because this guy has done well. Had like 13 touchdowns in his 4 years in Seattle. I think like around close to like 1,000 yards within those 4 years. I'm excited. Dave Canales and it's shown why he brought the veteran in and veteran leadership.
Yeah, from a leadership.
But I agree with you. And I agree with you. Like, we need to get these young guys a little more time and get them a chance to compete because this late, you gotta get younger, not older. So it's gonna hopefully they still give them a chance to compete, and David Moore's just not giving them a job.
Exactly. I'm excited about Trey Palmer. I mean, of all the guys that they drafted, offensively, he's one of the guys to me that stands out, and I'm really looking forward to see what he can do. Devin Tompkins last year, a speedy free agent wide receiver who was used some, in the return game. I'm curious to see the competition between him and Trey Palmer at the in the return game. I think Moore will be a good addition. But at best, he's probably going to be receiver number 4 and number 5. I mean, I can't
think so.
Evans, Godwin, or Gage. Although, if you watched Baker Mayfield yesterday, in his press conference, he kind of let something slip a little bit, indicating that Russell Gage was recuperating from an injury that he suffered, last week during off-season workouts. So, Russell Gage
was injury.
Yeah, he was injury prone last season. So if Gage is going to be the Russell Gage that we saw last year, then it makes sense to sign David Moore.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. Like if Russell Gage does get hurt again, because it's going to be then at this point it's going to continue because that's been the trend in the last few years. Russell Gage is a hell of a slot receiver. Even when he was a starter for Atlanta Falcons, got 900 yards or close to 900 yards, and it's if Russell Gage could stay healthy, he's a dangerous weapon as a receiver free. But now I'm starting to understand why they signed David Moore because Russell Gage, what I'm seeing, and especially hearing him get injured again, and it's not even preseason, I'd be a little concerned. I'd be very concerned. If I'd be the Bucs fan, I'd be very concerned. And I would have done the same thing. I'd be looking at getting a veteran and then have Trey Palmer receiver 4. So Dave Moore could move up to receiver 3 or 4 depending on Russell Gage's health status.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you alluded to, if you're a Bucs fan, it's like, oh my God, here we go again with Russell Gage. So I think Moore brings a lot to the table from a talent standpoint. But if everyone's healthy, that's just going to bump a Trey Palmer or Devin Tompkins down on the depth chart and eventually push one of those guys, to the practice squad. Now, if Gage isn't healthy, it makes sense, bringing somebody in like like Moore, and that could be what the Bucks are worried about. But either way, with Moore or without Moore, I think the Bucks and Baker's going to have a talented group of wide receivers to throw to, probably from 1 to 5, the best he's had in his career.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, and the Buck like Baker Mayfield. And this is what I got to say about him. I say this is the best team he's ever been on. Because you look at Cleveland, they had Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham. Him and Odell Beckham had problems. Jarvis Landry was kind of above average. He had a couple good years, but he fell off. And then he got older and slower. And he was like close to 30 years old when he came to Cleveland. So he never really had like superstar receivers and people players that would work with him. Because as we all know, Odell Beckham can be a very hard player to work with. And Mike Evans, the future Hall of Famer, he's a leadership guy. You got Godwin, who's made tremendous movements in his career. Came off ACL injury and got 1,000 yards, which is not very unheard of. And now you got David Moore, you got Trey Palmer, Devin Thompson's. I think he's going to be more of a special teams guy. I think that's probably where he's going to stay. But overall, we got a lot of great receivers and great offense overall. So Baker Mayfield, I think he's going to rock it this year. A lot, and this includes Bucks fans. They're like, Baker Mayfield's going to suck, dude. We're going to get Caleb Williams. I'm like, guys, you do rough years, but don't forget this guy won the first playoff game in Cleveland in about 25 years. No, that was a quarterback dead zone for majority of 30 years. You can't forget that. And Baker, he's gonna light it up this year. That's my prediction. I think he's gonna bring it to like a 9-10 win season and show everyone that they should have never doubted him.
No, I agree, and I think Baker himself kind of alluded to that yesterday. And I saw that little chip on his shoulder that he notoriously carries around with him, and it makes an appearance from time to time. People ask him about the Bucks being ranked 30th in ESPN's preseason rankings, about Peter King having the Bucks ranked 31, and he says, this is kind of the same guys that won the NFC South last year with 8 wins. So he said, this is only May. We're not, winning any championships in May. And then he went on to talk about, the great group of wide receivers and, some of the things that Dave Canales has been doing. One of the things that I think that the Baker is going to have to get used to, and it was noted yesterday in a couple of different of the press conferences that I watched, almost every play that the Bucks ran yesterday in practice had some kind of motion with it. I mean, quarterback was rolling out, or quarterback just wasn't standing there in the pocket looking for the open receiver. There is motion and there is constant movement.
Yeah,
that's going to play well for the Bucks.
I love to see that because you never saw that Brian Leftwich. He's always he went to Bruce Arians' old school playbook. Stay in the pocket. When you see it open, try to hit it. But it's like, guys, this is a new league. There's guys getting 15, 16. I think it's going to be good, but look at statistics. They're not going to be top tier until like 3 years, because statistically it takes 3 years to everyone to get really in sync together in the offensive line. So Baker needs to learn how to get out of the pocket, learn to throw the run, and Dave Canales says I'm glad he's doing that because this is a new league. You got to stay mobile and.
Yeah, I agree. Baker's also the kind of guy that he is not afraid of contact. Watching Tom Brady last year, at times it looked like he was afraid to get hit. It looked like that he was just afraid to even run or do anything with his legs to try to move the football. times. Baker's not that guy. Baker's going to go all in every play, and he's going to do whatever it takes to move those chains. If that means running the ball, if that means, laying the body out, stretching for the first down, if that means taking a hit to complete a pass, Baker's not afraid to do that. He's going to do, whatever it takes to get the job done. That's his mentality.
And that's really important. A lot of quarterbacks try to avoid the hits because they're worried about injury. Obviously, you got sick losses, but Baker Mayfield, he does whatever it takes to win. A lot of people are like, oh, he's selfish, he's a bad leader. You guys have not seen Baker. You're judging him by years ago. Like, where were we years ago? Yeah, Baker Mayfield, the reason he goes hard, because he wants to win. He's not here just for the money, because a lot of players are just in for the money. Baker Mayfield wants to win. He wants to get that championship for Tampa Bay Buccaneers or whatever team he's with.
Right.
And that's why I respect him most. He was benched, and he was still excited for his team. He's bumping helmets so that anyone told me. Baker Mayfield is a great leader, and he'll do whatever it takes to win. And in my personal opinion, you got to have that dog in you, and Baker Mayfield has that, and that's why I think he's going to be a winner for Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, and you need somebody like that under center. The other thing with the people throwing stones and criticizing Baker Mayfield, I don't understand how you can say with a straight face that Anthony Richardson is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield, and you have him ranked higher. Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. I could go quarterback by quarterback, division by division, and these guys that haven't won anything or proven anything in this league, oh, yeah, he's a better quarterback than Baker. Yeah, we think he's better. Based on what?
Example, Derek Carr. Baker Mayfield has a better playoff.
Yeah, perfect example. For some reason, there is this, I don't know. There's this thing that the national media has in regards to Baker Mayfield. I don't understand what it is. Now, I understand that in the past, he's kind of been abrasive, been short with the media, and maybe that's where it stems from. Yeah, I have no idea. But talent-wise, I like what he can bring to the team. I like his talent on the field. I think he's a good team player. He's not a disruption in the locker room. I think he's a good leader, and all those things are going to surprise a lot of people this fall.
Yeah, and that's why people say he's not a good leader because of the Beckham situation. I'm like, guys, other Beckhams had problems everywhere he's went. The only team I haven't heard anything about was the Rams, but he had problems in the New York Giants. He had problems in the Browns. It's like you can't judge. I feel like to judge off that situation. And Baker Mayfield been on commercials, obviously, and because he has shown the arrogance in the past, but that was years ago. And Baker Mayfield, I don't judge him because of one situation of Odell Beckham. Or I guess there's multiple that whole season, but I think it's a little deeper now. We don't even know the full story, so I don't know. I really don't. I judge Baker from what he is today, and I see a great leader, and I see someone with great potential that can keep Buccaneers relevant because we haven't been. Usually after Super Bowl and the history repeats itself, that a lot of people think it is. But with Baker Mayfield, we could be a playoff contenders, 100%. But for how our team's built, I see no reason.
No, I agree with that 100%. And in fact, when the schedule came out, and I'm putting some articles together about the schedule, I have the Buccaneers going 9-8 this season. Just a game better than last season. I looked at the strength of schedule, and because the Bucs were division champions last year, they have the toughest schedule in the division this season based on strength of schedule.
Oh,
and
definitely.
New Orleans, their strength of schedule, I think, is the fourth easiest in the league. Atlanta's in the top 10 when it comes to easy schedule. Carolina's right there. So the other teams in that division have a much easier path to a division title than the Bucs do. But you know, I think the Bucks are looking at that schedule. You know, games at home against Philly, at Buffalo, at San Francisco, the season opener at Minnesota. Those are all marquee matchups for the Bucks, and I think those are the games that you're going to have to the Bucks will get up for and want to prove themselves on the national stage to hush some of this negativity regarding how the team's going to perform this season.
It's going to be a big test for the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield. We all know it's hard to come in this year as a starter, and you're going against all these teams that are Super Bowl contenders. It's like, holy fuck, what are we going to do here? But it's like, guys, we're really going to let these guys beat us? We don't have time to lose. We can't lose.
Right.
Because we have many games after this, so it's like we're going to have to show them what we got. And Baker Mayfield, this is going to be the biggest test for him because Baker Mayfield, this is it, man. This is your last chance to be a starter. Yeah. And what a way to start. You go opener against a top 5 offense. Because Jefferson and all those guys, and it's going to be interesting. I'm really I'm pumped. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a great game. I think Baker is going to show what he got, and the offense is going to show up. I think we're going to have we could lose the opener because we're still getting adjusted. And they're playing game time now, so there could be a couple early losses in there. But I think they're going to do really well this season. I agree. Like my prediction was 10-7, but it could be like 9-8. But I'm feeling a little bold, and I'm going to say 10-7 for the Buccaneers this year.
I could see them winning 10 games because there's a lot of those games that I think are toss-up games that you might put in the loss column. For example, the game at Carolina. Well, that could be a loss. That could also be a win. The game against Atlanta, home or away. I mean, the Falcons always play the Bucks tough. It seems like just look what happened last year. And those are 2 games the Bucks could win. They could split or they could lose to. I mean, it is that close. The same with New Orleans. Now, New Orleans has a really good defense, but that's the big rivalry game for the Bucks in the division. And, they usually end up splitting. Very rarely does one team walk away with both wins. So that's another 2 games that could go either way. You're looking at 1-1 or 2-0. So there's a lot of games I like that on the schedule. And, the Bucks get rolling, they get hot. Baker is back to his, his 2020 form. Who knows? Anything can happen.
Yeah, it could. It's gonna definitely be interesting. This is the first time I'm really excited to check out preseason because we got a lot of young guys. Even Kurt Warner's son is on the team. He's a receiver. And just a lot of the young guys we got, I see them being starters. Like development players, and even the linebacker we got, I could see him eventually taking Devin White's place if he did develop trade this season. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it will be. There's a lot of young talent, a lot of athleticism, a lot of speed. The Bucks really improved the roster this offseason in those areas. So I'm looking forward to training camp, looking forward to the preseason, and seeing what these guys can deliver on the field.
Yeah, and finish all things, I actually want to mention last Saturday was the Tampa Bay Inferno last final home game.
Last home game already. Wow, that season went by quick, didn't it?
Yeah, they have 2 games left this season. They go against Boston Renegades, who are like top team who won the championship last year, and they go against the Miami Heat. And that home game, I actually went to it, and everyone showed up. It was amazing, and it was loud. It was a down game. comes with being a first full time quarterback, and they had her kick the. It's not the mind and everything like that. So I'm hoping to get the record doesn't reflect how hard and talented this team is. It's unfortunate how it turned out. They were still in it at the end, but just couldn't finish the drive. But there's always next year, and we're happy it turned out. Um, and we'll just have to hope next year they can get their ticket to Canton.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of disappointing. I was expecting the Inferno, to do a little bit better this year, have a few more wins, maybe could compete, for that top spot. But it wasn't to be. I mean, they gave it their all, left it all out on the field. So, and who knows what can happen in these last two games? I mean, they've lost a couple of games at home. They probably, shouldn't have lost. So, hey, just give it everything you got these last two games and let the chips fall where they may, and hopefully they end up in your favor.
Yeah, hopefully maybe they can get a wild card spot. It's going to be very hard right now because this league actually goes by rankings, not records. So we're gonna have to see if they could beat Boston Renegades. Then I would say they have a slight chance, but we're gonna have to see.
Yeah,
it'd be awesome to see them in the playoffs at least. But regardless, they had a hell of a season. The coaching did a great job. Just gonna have to take it back next year, I think, and regroup and it's only up from here. They got a lot of young players and overall, I think they did pretty good. They had a lot of young players that are still getting used to the system, the plays, everything like that. So it's only up from here.
yeah. Good luck in Boston this weekend, and hopefully they come home with a win and then get ready for the season finale.
Oh yeah, Miami. So if you guys are in that area, check it out. I'm not sure where the stadium is yet, but just look up Miami Heat. They'll have the stadium info and everything like that on their website. Or is it Miami Heat? I'll show you guys. I'll tell you guys more about it when the week comes up, when we have our podcast that week. But yeah, it'll be in Miami. So if you guys are in that area or close to it, or want to maybe take a weekend, that's a perfect time to do it.
Yeah, if I was available, I wouldn't mind hanging out on South Beach and watching a little football. Sounds like a perfect weekend to me.
Yeah, it does. Watch some football, chill at the beach. I was at Miami. I think last year, and it was awesome. It's amazing beach. I'm in my hotel. I walked like maybe 2 blocks. I'm already at a bar, so it's awesome.
Nothing wrong with that. That's a way to do a vacation.
But say that's how we're going to end it. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like and subscribe, and I hope you buck that.